I've done the second cut on the springs off camera, exactly the same as the first, but with having two cuts I can actually sort of roll the spring down. Actually, wait a minute, I'm rolling it the wrong way. Here we go. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's the collits up here I need to save, and in fact the spring's a bit rusted. The spring's rusted onto the cap, so let me just give it a bash with the mallet. There we go, that's it, it's off. But if I had this pressed in the spring presses, that would still be stuck, and I'd then have the stressful and very dangerous job of trying to knock these caps off with I just don't want to be bashing about with a spring press. If this has got the press on, the element of danger is ridiculous. There's no need to take that much risk. This will come off eventually. Bloody hell. I don't know. I got the last ones off anyway. But it did take an awful lot of bashing about. I can't remember how long it took me, to be honest with you, but it was a fair old while. There we go. Got various chisels and tools and bits and pieces. In fact, I think I broke the tip off this screwdriver last time. There's just a little, we're being blinded by the sunshine here. There's a little slot there. Just about get the screwdriver in. I've already broke the screwdriver, so what the hell. There we go. Tell you what, I'm going to pause the camera, and I've got a big so it's a spanner. It's specially for removing what's it for removing? It's for removing the element out of an immersion heater. I'm going to put that round to protect the edge here. Let me just pause the camera and I'll fetch that big spanner. Okay, I've got it. It's here. This is just for removing an element from an immersion heater. But I did find it protected. I need to bash it a little bit harder. Push it over here. I'm going to use the engineer's ball peen hammer. I don't want to be bashing directly onto the collits. I just need to protect them as much as possible. So I did find that this protects them quite well last time. There we go. What I did, I knocked the seat down and then removed the collits afterwards, I think. Yeah, this is what I did on the last time. But you can see why I didn't want to be having the coil spring press on both sides here and bashing it about like this. The risk is just ludicrous. I've got no energy contained here now. The spring's been chopped in half. But you get the idea of how difficult a job it would be with the spring press in place. It'd be ludicrous. Far less dangerous to do what I did, cut through the spring and risk the jump of the spring when it breaks. Has that moved? No. Actually, no, it has moved. It's moved a tiny bit. But yeah, there's an awful lot of bashing about involved. But it does work eventually. Ah, yes. Yeah. Here we go. I can see you have to knock it down quite a long way. If I knock it down far enough, I'll be able to show you how it sits on the shock absorber. Here we go. But this would be a truly horrible job trying to do this with the spring presses on. Very, very, very dangerous. There we go. That's it. Now, if I bring it up to the camera, we can just see there's a lip built into the shock absorber. It's like a spring, and that's what the collits sit against. And bloody hell, the collits are still they're not. They're actually under no tension now. Gosh, but even so, they're still stuck. I need to try and drive them out from the other side, perhaps. Here we go. Try and drive them out from here. Gosh, yeah, this would just be such a dangerous job with the spring in place, the spring press in place. They're not readily available to buy. These, they come in different sizes. Not different sizes, but they've got different profiles. And it's easy enough to find the cups, but more difficult to find the collits. Anyway, I'm not going to continue to faff about on camera. You get the idea. That I've managed to knock that cup down by about 10 millimeters off the ring, and there are just 2 collits that it's just rusted together. It could take me 15-20 minutes to knock these out, so I'm not going to continue on camera. It's actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just pause the camera for a few minutes, take the microphone off, let me pause the camera, and when they start to come loose, I'll try and film the last bit. Okay, I've spent a good 5 or 10 minutes bashing about. I think I've finally worked the collet loose. Let me just put the gloves back on. I always take the gloves off to be able to fiddle with the camera. But let's have a look. I've had to drive the collet out from behind, but I'm anxious not to break them because I do need to save them. Yeah, come on. There we go. I do need to save them. There we go. Come on, let's get you out. There we go. There's one out. And it's the other one. Okay, so I've managed to get the cup off, but the collet is still, we don't need any of that. That's just complete rubbish, but the collet is still completely rusted in. Let's see if I can. There we go. Wow. There we go. It's out. It's all saved. I was fearful of breaking the collets, to be honest with you, but I can just sort of I can clean these with rotary wheels and wire brushes, and I'll paint them, and I'll reuse those on the brand new set. They're quite a nuisance. They look a mess, but they'll clean up okay, and they'll paint fine. They're perfectly serviceable, but a bit of a job to get those out.